happen to use once again. The way that he moves, it can be so tricky. Taza, this is it. Grand Finals.
Grand Finals, Markiemoo representing North America against Hughes, the world champion and South American representative, are going to change the stage that they're playing on for game number 1.
Of all the games, guys, of all the sets that they had to do this on, it was going to be this one.
I gave that button check the most elegant intro that I could. We'll have it ready to go here for the real game 1. And just a little bit.
What impresses me about a player like Markiemoo, specifically when it comes to younger competitors, those are the ones that tend to be the most affected by nerves. And he talks about the fact that he was nervous often. Judging by his play, I can't tell at all.
I think he's quite nervous, but the thing that he highlighted in his interview was that he is focusing on staying focused. I think that a lot of the feelings that he's having are still there bubbling under the surface, but what he's got better than anybody else right now is that he's focused on the prize. He's focused on the win, and he's going, I'm going through a lot of this stuff, but I can make it through a lot of this stuff. Here we go. Grand Finals for the Autumn Royale. We've got Hughes from South America going up against Markiemoo, undefeated in the double elimination side of the bracket for North America. They're fighting on Small World's End here for game number 1, and Markiemoo opening up really nicely on the side as Hughes finally picks up a weapon. It's the sword. I'm sure he'll be switching right over to the great sword.
Shoving him off stage, dashing in with that D-Light, and Markiemoo able to get the punish, looking for the GC N-Light, and it was unsuccessful. Weapon toss, GC N-Light once again going to be coming out, and this time actually connecting. He's just getting close. He's trying to bait Hughes into a bad jump, and then Markiemoo wants a recovery to set up an early edge guard.
Nice recovery. Looks for a second one for that early edge guard, but doesn't get it, and Hughes is able to get the sidelight D-Light bridge. He's been so effective with those throughout the entirety of the weekend, waiting for a dodge read. Gravity cancel sidelight, try to catch Hughes recovering onto the stage, but he goes low. Gravity cancel D-Light, dodges right past it, but the dare weapon throw might take the first stock here. Doesn't even need the dive kick, and Markiemoo actually dodges into the pillar to avoid the side air from hitting so that Hughes doesn't get the chase dodge and takes the first stock.
And he was still able to make it back on. A lot of the way that Markiemoo even finds these openings is through the recovery. Can he bait Hughes into those jumps? I think what I would like to see is a more grounded playstyle from Hughes going into this. Oh boy, Pocket Sand not going to find its target. Okay, holding on to the stage, looking for the neutral, who doesn't find it.
One good down air, ground pound with the nair. Just magnets him off the side of the stage. I can't believe that I was able to connect there. Hughes must have been dashing off the side of the stage. Ensig does not hit grounded. Markiemoo does a good job staying on the ground there to avoid that attack, but D-Light recovery comes through. One more of those could knock out. Hughes looking for another nair. Markiemoo goes down. That dash land neutral light not going to get it. Hughes gets the D-Light recovery.
He dashed back. He gave up enough stage. He saw the N-Light, and he was able to successfully punish it. 2 stocks apiece. Let's see what Hughes is able to make happen. Okay, able to get the N-Light, not able to get the neutral. Side light down. Oh my god, he gets the 3-piece, and he's getting so much damage, and he has totally evened up this game.
Markiemoo now going over to center stage, goes for that side light. N-Light in place, doesn't really hit it. Weapon throw forward, not going to be able to catch anything after that. And the N-Light finisher from Hughes with the weapon throw goes for the neutral sig on the sword, another neutral sig.
I can't believe the N-Sig didn't KO off the top.
Yeah, that was, I mean, yeah, I actually am pretty surprised too. Markiemoo must have been like a single bit of damage away from that word, because that D-Light recovery knocks out right away, and Hughes solidly here up in game number 1. This could be the first game that he takes off of Markiemoo the week.
Ever. That's right, because Markiemoo got 2 consecutive 3-0s, and let's see if that's going to happen again. Amazing combo, already putting him so deep into the yellow. He is occupying the stage. He is extending with a weapon toss. Markiemoo not able to find an opening in what feels like half a stock already until the sider finally gets Hughes off of him, but he's not able to set up an edge guard quite yet. Sidelight, okay.
Goes over the gravity cancel side sig, no punish on that one. Sidelight opener, Hughes just sticking to his game plans, which is right over to the sword, and lights him off the side of the stage, waits on the spot dodge. Could go for side air here into the ground pound, goes for the recovery for the extra damage, switches over to the great sword, sidelight, and light finisher. This is going to be a 2-stock for game 1. And Hughes locked in. Markiemoo looking a little shaky in game number 1.
He got his first game off. That is exactly what he needed. So Hughes, if I'm Hughes, finally, I got 1 game off. I can take maybe just the tiniest of little breaths, but I still have 1 to 2 more sets coming up ahead of me.
That's right, because not only does he have to win this set, he's got to win another grand final set in the reset after this, but he's looking good. The adaptations are coming through. They're both agreeing to run it back to World's End, which seems to be in his favor. He's got the great sword runway coming through there, and a lot of those N-Light finishers are knocking up the top very early. And if the N-Sig that he hit with the sword was calculated correctly, that game could have been even faster. So a really strong opening here for the grand final.
We'll see how Markiemoo is able to set up what he wants most, which is always, he needs those edge guards, Taza. That's what he is always looking for. Views, looking for the side light. No position to be able to whiff punish is Markiemoo. Okay. Side light.
Oh,
my
finisher.
gosh.
Goes to the recovery, reposition for the Sair. No, he drifts too far back for the side air. Markiemoo manages to make it back. Side light, D-light bridge. He's been getting so much mileage off of that attack in neutral, waiting for the dodge coming through. Gets the side light, goes in for that dash forward.
Wow.
Neutralize bridge to the side light. Finisher. Markiemoo deleted in 40 seconds. Used, destroying him here on World's End. And we're not seeing a lot of the success from gauntlets that Markiemoo had. He got the dodge in read on the greatsword as well. Used completely on Markiemoo's
He is
head.
not able to match the damage output at this moment. Exactly. Well said. He now has a sight. Use wanted to deny him with the weapon toss, but that's okay. Chase dodging. He is moving. He is getting so close. Markiemoo has not been able to get him out of his space. The end light comes out, but it to no effect.
The side light D-light bridge is so dominating there on the edge of the stage. Always pushes Markiemoo off, but not too far away, so Markiemoo has to decide how to get back on the stage.
Decided to put him off stage. Weapon toss. Great sword. Not a whole lot of options off stage once again, but that was a beautiful little follow-up to close out that stock.
Good damage coming out from Hughes as well to secure the lead. Markiemoo now still holding on and prioritizing the scythe, even between stocks where he has a choice to go over to the gauntlets. Lots of end lights cutting through, but no nairs, not leading to those ladder combos that has been so popular on scythe recently. End light nair, there's it is there. 3 nairs in a row, and you don't get DI on those because they're not true combos. He's just calling Hughes out for what he's choosing
when
to
he
do
had
out
no
of
dodge,
stun.
what was he supposed to do? Down and out of it, he had no dodge. Maybe jump away and put yourself up even higher.
Yeah, you want to do that. Recovery ends up being too risky there. Gravity cancel ends up could knock you out. D-light side air. This could be the stock. And that's it. Markiemoo off the scythe.
He's already back.
Hit 3 nairs in a row and took the stock lead.
That was an incredible advantage state. That is what he does. When he sees that your dodge is gone, he smells blood in the water, but Hughes, he is still not out of this game. He gets the D-light. He gets the recovery follow-up. And now it is 1 stock apiece, and they're equally healthy.
Really important game 2 here. I feel the momentum going totally into Hughes' favor if Markiemoo is not able to clutch. This is what South American fans need. Markiemoo, on the other hand,
Beautiful
gets that
follow-up.
air, falls down for that neutral air himself.
The
Weapon throw
neutral
stops
doesn't get off me. That was so smart. Oftentimes you don't see great sword swing out of disadvantage, but that's exactly what he needed to get back on.
Yeah.
He gets the end light. Markiemoo gets the call out with the recovery. Tries to go through the double and doesn't find it.
I like the movement there from Hughes though. Dash jumps back and forth, gets 1 down air, neutral light there as well. Side light, waits him out, but gets the nair on the way back down to the stage as Markiemoo's not able to get the grab that he's looking for off that nair. D-light side air edge guards him. Hughes could take the 2-0 lead here.
Oh, but he dodges on.
D-light.
He misses the end light, and as a result, he gets hit by the neutral. He picks up the scythe. We saw how effective it was last time. The weapon toss, the end light, he was not able to pick it up in time. The neutral doesn't hit either.
I think the only thing that would knock out here is down sig. It might be too soon to go for that, but Markiemoo might risk it.
The dodge was beautifully timed. If he did it too soon, the side light would have lingered and it would have hit him still. They're both jumping around each other.
Yeah, Hughes has got a lot more options to knock out than Markiemoo has. Markiemoo needs a few more hits.
Oh, gosh.
End light sends him on the left side of the stage. Markiemoo has not been a very signature-heavy finisher here at the gauntlets.
Love the fact that he didn't dash in with his weapon toss. Hughes
dodged
past that. He was ready to punish him. He's controlling the ground, but he landed the side and Hughes is able to take this game too.
Okay, Hughes had a very strong set for the reset, or a strong argument for the reset here now. Going up 2-0 there is really, really important. Markiemoo was adapting, but it wasn't in such a way where I feel like it's like, okay, now every game is going to be in Markiemoo's favor. Hughes ends up getting that last stock there. I would really like to see Markiemoo take a few more risks. There were moments there on that edge guard where I was like, man, Mordek's down sig's really good. You can let that one rip. You might need to go for it. I haven't seen him do that. We see the signature count for both players here very, very low, and with a 0% hit rate on both sides. There's 3 special moves used that entire game.
But also something I wanted to point out, Hughes was swinging out of disadvantage against gauntlets, which is really important. Gauntlets does not have a lot of disjoints, right? It's up close, it's a close quarter combat weapon. And so oftentimes you want to mix up between, you know, dodging out, doing nothing, and then swinging out of disadvantage. And so we are seeing the switch here. Oh my God.
Balloon Boy has made a surprise appearance on the stage. Just kidding. It's Markiemoo, but it's Deviljin, Yellow Deviljin, right? And so that's about as Balloon Boy of a fan as you can get with your loadout here. As we're going into game number 3, it's going to be bow and gauntlets for Markiemoo instead of scythe and gauntlets. He's feeling like the scythe wasn't doing it against Hughes, and he's got a game to play with before the reset to see if this works. And Markiemoo seems to be in a situation here where he's going, okay, my gameplay with Mordex isn't working. I'm going to start looking for alternative picks, and you're shaking your head, and I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking.
In these game 3s and game 5s, where is your character confidence? Everybody has been switching. switching off
Shattered
today.
by Use. Use is literally crushing the character confidence out of everybody that fights.
But I felt like that was so doable with Mollydex too, but it's okay. We have Royale. Maybe he will be able to evoke the spirit of Balloon Boy, one that would win against Use though. And so we'll just have to find out how this goes. Markiemoo left weaponless. Use just able to land mostly safely, avoiding the sidelight and getting a couple of hits in. Neutral, GC sidelight, recovery, but still not enough.
Yeah, doesn't get the knockout. It was a great reads there. Gets the down 6 stacks. Nicely done. Takes him off the top of the stage. And maybe we'll see just a little bit more signature liberty here because the character's different, right? Devil Jin, not the most common pick in singles outside of Balloon Boy. It was mainly like, okay, Cross has been nerfed too much. We're playing it in doubles now. But still, a solid pick in singles sometimes nonetheless. And Markiemoo showcasing a little bit of Devil Jin's signature kit here at the beginning of Game 3. Recovery will even things up though.
So active. That's right. And so the switch to bow, I think, is actually quite good against Greatsword because that is one of the weapons, specifically with D-Light, that you are able to contest a lot of the grounded options. He's still going to be sticking to the gauntlets, though. You're able to get the GC and Light, not able to get the N-Sig follow-up and Use whiffing a side Light. Markiemoo gets a very quick little punish, and now the game is just about as even as it can be.
I think the argument for bow here is a strong one. D-Light, I think, does better than any other move in the game, dealing with Greatsword's range and punishing Greatsword's openers. But we've seen him mostly focus on the gauntlets anyways. Here's the bow, goes over the downlight there. It's really good at being able to punish the positioning that Greatsword players like to go for that sidelight opener. But if he's airborne like that, getting caught with a landing, sidelight, D-Light, sidelight's going to do it.
You have to be so careful with the way that you go for bow down because it has so much end lag. Use is up an entire stock. He is up 2 games, and he is poised to make this bracket reset unless Markiemoo is able to pull a fast one. So, gauntlets on hand.
Again? Yeah. He tries to go for the same stack thing there. Use is not going to give him to him. At least not on Greatsword.
But that's the edge guard. That's a stock.
Yeah.
He's back in it, Taza.
Markiemoo has a chance to get on the board against Use, a player he originally was 6-0 against, and now is being beaten by so hard that he switched over to a different legend pick than the Mordex that he's had so much success with this weekend. Pocket Sand comes through.
Excellent, because he was out of space. He had no way to dash back. He had no way to be able to avoid that amazing advantage state. And Light as a get-off-me option. GC D-Light to get back onto the stage as a burst option. The bow to be able to go ahead and manipulate his movement. The GC sidelight doesn't come out. He's sweating. The D-Sig, he gets a game with the switch because Use overextended.
Okay, and I think the big thing that's coming out from here is that what Mordex does not have that Zariel has is a stacked option to punish. Be able to take him off the top of the stage. Low ceiling on Brawlhalla does get banned out by Use this time. Doesn't want to go back there for game number 4. But what Markiemoo changed in that game wasn't much. He had the bow for a good amount of damage. The gauntlets played similarly to the Mordex, but as opposed to before, where we saw one signature being used again. We actually saw Downsig reliably knocking out when Use tried to cross him up.
Now going to Lions here, do you think that that's still going to be as viable of an option?
No, the ceiling is twice as high as World's End, and that was something that we were talking about in the original set between Use and Markiemoo, right? Where a lot of the knockouts were sidelight recovery coming up from the gauntlets. As Use has been able to adapt against Markiemoo's playstyle, sidelight recovery has not been connected against Use on the gauntlets. And so Markiemoo is now relying on Devil Jin's unique signature kit here with the downsig. But we have to see if that comes here into play in this game. Puts out the bow downsig there. Gravity cancel D-Light means he has no dodge, but Use doesn't get a punish onto it, and Markiemoo is a little bit behind.
He's been using it too many times. That's going to be the call out with the GC D-Light into the N-Sig as well. I was about to point it out. He used it so many times to try and get back on. The D-Light into the recovery. Enough to knock out off the top. Use, he is playing amazing.
Yeah, and this is a very hard lead to come back from. Markiemoo was keeping it close for the majority of Game 3. Use now here on the Greatsword. If he finds one more sidelight opener, he'll get that D-Light bridge.
So difficult to get a follow-up off of sidelight, but...
Spike angle.
Okay, it puts him off stage, and he gets it again. And I think that's going to be more than enough to be able to KO. Really good spacing. That felt so evocative of like Morkiemoo Scythe D-Light, you know, what he did.
Yeah, but you're just covering that upwards angle. You get that spiking knockback as well, and because it's not doubles, you don't have to worry about somebody interrupting you during the animation of an attack, which is usually the biggest weakness. And Use just drifts off to the left because he knew he had no resources back to make it back after the double N-Sig connects.
Nice neutral.
Nair to chase dodge, was low on jumps, but still managed to make it back. And now D-Light is on the table as an approaching tool, but Use is just too close for Markiemoo to be able to set up.
He slides off with that D-Light. He puts himself off stage, catching the cross up with the N-Light as well. Markiemoo wanted a dash land. Instead, he ended up dodging onto the stage, and he got punished for it really quickly.
Whoa.
Fully committing to the ground pound, just so that he kept himself safe. Use dropping the punish, not able to get the true combo into the sider.
surprised that Markiemoo is playing off the right side of the stage for so long with how much damage he was taking. Yu's now a dare nair away from getting this knockout. That one is not going to do it, but the next one will. Neutralite could have gone for the Endlight finisher right away. Just avoid the bridge entirely. There it is.
Yes.
Endlight opener, Endlight finisher.
He's not dodging immediately because he's waiting for the bridge.
It's been a used staple for most of the weekend, halfway through a set most of the time.
Yes.
Because he puts out so many sidelight D-lights that the Endlight is catches people off guard a lot of the times.
Oh my gosh, the D-Light able to actually outspace the beautiful stuff. The N6 so safe. Yu's tries to cover the landing. That time he was successful. Recovery, neutral. He wants to be able to take this all the way. And Markiemoo, I cannot believe the weapon toss didn't connect. Can he make it back onto the stage? And the answer is yes for just a second, but not for long enough as Yu's takes the game, takes the set, and now we have one last set.
That was 618 damage to 238. That's he tripled his damage there. Yu's destroying Markiemoo on the Devil Jin. The Devil Jin did like eke out a game in game 3. I wouldn't say that it was convincing. And when you take away the down sig knockout option by going to literally any other stage than Small World's End, I think you got yourself a counter pick that's not going to work. We're here in the grand final reset. Markiemoo dropping his first sets to Yu's in the weekend, and Yu's could even up at the head-to-head as Markiemoo is now back over to the Mordex for game number 1. This is the final set of the weekend. Winner of this will be crowned the Autumn Royale champion. Here we go, game number 1 between Markiemoo and Yu.
And this is what I wanted to see. Look at the confidence that he has when it comes to sight because he hunts down his opponents. So I'm glad to see that the Mordex is back. I'm glad that the Zariel was put away because I felt like it was still so doable.
Yeah, although arguably in grand finals, the Zariel has more wins than the Mordex has been able to pick up. So let's see if Markiemoo has made the adjustments necessary here to be able to take out a game. The Mordex coming through, many sidelights not leading to recovery, but this is the best Markiemoo's looked so far in the set.
Oh, he gave him so much space, but Yu's overshooting and then catching that cross-up as well. The recovery, KOing off the top. This is an amazing lead to open off with. He is only in the yellow. And how does Yu's bring this one back?
We'll have to see. It could just be that Markiemoo gets his one World's End win.
Okay.
It takes him away.
Recovery. That's what happens when you start jumping out of it.
Yeah, recovery tries to go through once again. Weapon throw stops the recovery from catching Markiemoo on the landing. Endlight waits for the dodge. Another Endlight coming up here. Gets the sidelight instead. And now D-Light's on the table for being able to go for a good
dash
edge
jump ground pound as well. Yu's only able to get a neutral off the GC. D-Light as well. Going for, oh my gosh. He was able to get Yu's behind him. The sidelight.
Side sig.
Yo.
Yeah, wake up, gravity cancel, side sig. Markiemoo playing a little more confidently with his character, considering that the signature kit was mostly nowhere to be seen.
Sidelight recovery, amazing. He was able to get the stock, and now once again he is back. His confidence with the Mordex is back.
Yeah, it's interesting to see such a reset in mentality and momentum going between one set to the other. A lot of the times these tend to spiral. They snowball out of control in favor of the person that got the win. Here, Markiemoo seeming like he's leveled up to a completely new opponent going into game number 1 of the reset.
This is where legends get made. This is where you go from a good competitor to a world-class one, which is, do you have the mentality? Do you have the stability? And he's able to catch the dodge. He's going out there with the GC sidelight. He wasn't able to get the full follow-up, but he keeps on swinging and landing on top of Yu's.
Yeah, recovery from Yu's breaks the pressure a little bit, but Markiemoo's been relentless with the gauntlets. This is what we saw in Winners Finals, was Markiemoo's gauntlets against Yu's completely destroying him. Gravity cancel sidelight, the double sidelight recovery comes through, nods his head and goes, okay, that's what we like to see. And that's 577 damage at 216, doubling the damage there in a very quick game 1. And we had talked about that set earlier on, or talked about that the way that he finishes those sets earlier on with those recoveries.
Yes.
Right away, Yu's first ban was World's End.
Yep, he does not want to go there. He does not want to get KO'd off the top again. But this Yu's was not being allowed to play the game that time around. Markiemoo, he stayed on top of him, and he executed exactly what he wanted with both weapons. If he gets a neutralizer, can he get multiple neutralizers and finish it off with a recovery? If he gets a gauntlet sidelight, does he get a follow-up? If both of those are yes, then he wins the game.
So we're going to Fortress of the Lions. I don't think we should see World's End anymore for the rest of the set as long as Yu's is playing his cards right. Just leave that stage banned and don't pick it when it's your turn. Meanwhile, Markiemoo on the board, 2 games away from being the Royale champion. Has the recovery on the scythe, looking for the Endlight opener, the weapon throw and the gauntlets. Wants to get those sidelights, gravity cancel sidelights into recovery, but use
so aggressive.
the sidelight D-light bridges.
He kept his dodge. He kept his dodge. He knew that he would not be able to get a finisher. Okay, he's landing so safely. He went through the D-light. He played as floaty as possible and delayed his landing.
Dodges the weapon throw, cancels the dodge into a sidelight. You immediately get your finisher there. Extra damage into the knockback.
And immediately sends you off stage with that angle. The N-Sig still going to be able to KO off the top. Yu's has a gentle lead. Now the question is, can he attain any extra credit?
Ooh.
Oh boy, he is leaning in.
That's a classic. It's a Brawlhalla classic to go for the haymaker there with iframes. Doesn't work out, and Yuz ends up getting a ton of damage on him. When the weapon throws the Endlight Bridge.
Endlight, that's still not going to be enough. Uses offstage. He has used up so many different resources, but he plays it nice and safe. Markiemoo does not commit offstage quite yet. He dodges in past the side A.
Oh, these Silent D-Lights do so much damage. Silent recovery will get through though, and Markiemoo waiting it out and pivoting the recovery to catch Yuz drifting to the left to be able to equalize it 2-2.
He's looking for the call out. He's looking for the neutralizer, and he's not able to find it quite yet. The sidelight whiffs. Yu's not able to find an end light of his own, and people are just fighting for the first big neutral win. But he is off stage. He has so few options now.
Oh, what's it gonna be? D-Light, Sidelight? Okay.
I cannot believe D-Light is that big.
Oh, on Gauntlets? Yeah, you are. It's like the hidden pocket sand move of Gauntlets, right? Like, Jaehyun actually has it with the side stick. Meanwhile, Gauntlets just have to slam the ground. And the sand is usually what's comboing into the chase dodge recovery right afterwards. Nair comes through, gets hit by that Sidelight. Okay, that's gonna be the end light finisher.
He had no platform to go to. He was out of stage. He used up his dodge, and Yuz did exactly what he does best. He makes the most out of his disjoints, and he says, all of this is one big hitbox, and you are not safe.
Yeah, and that end light finisher has been so reliable for Yuz after he conditions Markiemoo with tons of Sidelight D-Light bridges. Falls down that side air. Went for the end light finisher that time around. Markiemoo ends up falling out of the combo, but that time Yuz almost gets the dodge and punish.
Yes.
That recovery coming through, not going to hit just yet. End light opener.
So many openings, and when you get so many openings, it is inevitable you find a hit. But he gets the recovery, he gets the KO, and this is definitely doable for Markiemoo.
Yeah, this could be Markiemoo bringing it to match point. Gets this, would be up 2-0 in the grand final reset. Yuz, however, is trying to even things up. Nair hits, goes for the chase dodge in, but Yuz drifts to the right. Weapon throw gets punished. Nair combo comes through, and Yuz has now brought Markiemoo solidly into the red.
Wow, that recovery is huge. He whiffs the neutral, and that was a gentle opening. Neutral recovery. He puts himself off stage. He committed. He lands back onto the stage. Down in neutral again and again and again. Nair. Can you land?
Oh, Nair would knock out now. Neutral would knock out. End light. He loves the double end light as the finisher. He's so reliable with that, and he only brings it out at the end of sets.
Why does that work? Well, so oftentimes people are looking to dodge the finisher. They're not looking to dodge the first hit. They want to be able to avoid the three-piece. And what happens is you hold on to it, and they immediately go for either the neutral light finisher or the side light finisher.
Yeah. And end light finisher as a move this year is different than Great Sword every other year, but it's been competitive because the angle of knockback is so much more reliable than the ceiling.
And he's taken advantage of it.
And Yuz's playstyle has adapted quite well around that, right? Munir talked about how Yuz have been practicing ever since the last Royale to prepare for this one in just that way, and his Great Sword really reflects it. Markiemoo, on the other hand, is now here 1-1 against Yuz, opening up very well with the gauntlets. Doesn't get the read with the Nair, however, and uses over onto the sword. I'm sure he'll be throwing that away after one clean hit, so they can go back over to the Great Sword, which he's been dominating with all throughout the day.
That's right, Markiemoo, he needs to be ready to adapt to those two pieces. But right now, he is off stage, and Yuz able to just space out that D-Light, but unfortunately, no follow-up.
D-Light recovery off the top of the stage, though. Goes for the Nair. Markiemoo does not go down from the knockback. Not strong enough to be able to get the early stock.
Those happen once in a blue
moon. It's hit by Sidelight Nair. Sair. Weapon throw here could force the dodge. Gets the Nair. That's going to be it for Yuz's first stock.
Beautiful. He was able to go ahead and clean that one up. He got nice and close, and he took advantage of that recovery. And now Markiemoo, he has sight. Yuz with no weapon. You can't really contest that. Otherwise, he could sometimes eat a neutral. Okay, he puts himself off stage with the sidelight. He's being nice and patient. Markiemoo is fishing for this neutral. He wants to use off stage now.
Markiemoo not even enough damage here for D-Light recovery to knock out. An early neutral sig might be a good read, but it's not going to take the stock either. Yuz also opting to stick with the sword for the majority of this game, which I think is what's giving Markiemoo the edge. The Nair catches him into the down air. Another Nair.
Oh, he's so patient.
Gets the recovery, but no, Yuz manages to stuff Markiemoo's recovery there. Yeah, the patience there was incredible, but Yuz's was even better. Ends up making sure that he can make it back to the stage and maybe even equalizing the stock here. D-Light recovery's on the table now.
Oh my gosh, he just barely dodges past the D-Light. He's able to get into the GC sidelight recovery, but the ceiling is up too high. Not able to shatter it quite yet, though, but Yuz will be able to finally
This was
find
World's End.
the
I think the game would be over yet already because of how much Markiemoo's had Yuz off the top of the stage there. But no, Fortress of Lions counter pick working really well for Yuz.
He said enough. He said, stop leaning in, stop going through those end lights. They're just not going to connect.
Yeah, Yuz doesn't get the end light opener there. Sidelight would have been nicer, but Markiemoo manages to find his own side. side light, gets to the platform, dash lands back to the stage, avoids that side light with perfect spacing and punishes with his own side light. Another one comes through, doesn't get the recovery read, but it's only a matter of time before Markiemoo is able to knock out.
He needs to either overshoot or he needs to dash in, dash out to be able to bait something. Okay.
Doesn't hit. Uh-oh.
Huge with punish.
That could be the finisher
But
here.
he slides off the stage.
All right, Hughes looking for that side light opener. End light's on the table.
Recovery, gets the reversal, and all of a sudden what was Hughes' advantage state when he had all the momentum has suddenly become the stock lead for Markiemoo. He wants this game so bad, Taza.
I said it was on the table, but I don't think the double end light will knock out just yet. He needs a little bit more damage, and now he's opting over to the much more easier to finish with sword. Neutral sig tries to go for a jump read, but Markiemoo just dashes right past it, and that is a huge combo. 5 hits coming through. Nair after the side air, gets another Nair into the recovery. Hughes can't make it back to the stage. Markiemoo goes to the side of the stage with a down air. Edge guard from the weapon throw, goes to the D-Light ground pound, doesn't hit it.
And the sight, he set it up for later. He's able to get the ground pound. He tries to use the GC N-Sync to make it back on, and he gets it successfully.
Okay, so the gravity cancel neutral signature gives him the enough time for the dodge to come back up for Hughes to make it back, but Markiemoo is one solid hit away from taking this game 3 and bringing it to match points. Weapon throw forward, goes for the, could have gone for anything there, but doesn't opt to take the risk.
Okay, gets decided. He has Markiemoo off stage. Can he find this edge guard? And the answer is no, he cannot. He makes it back on. He goes through the weapon toss as well. He's dashing in. Look how confidently he is playing when he has a lead.
D-Light gets
and
light,
light,
light.
Stock.
Okay, Hughes has a small chance here to avoid going to match point here in the grand final reset. We just got off the back of a strong 3-1 victory in that first grand final set.
Good choice.
Markiemoo is now a stock away.
He didn't go to pick up his weapon. He almost got the dodge. Hughes on Greatsword can make it happen, but Markiemoo, he just needs that one hit. He needs recovery. That's not enough because it was just
He's
below
recovery
the stage.
above the stage is what he needs now. Although I think beneath the stage might even knock out at this point too. Hughes no damage, neutral
and light. Is that going to KO? Yes, it will. One game away. 1 game away before Markiemoo potentially finds his first land victory ever.
2-1. Needs one more game. Hughes trying to fight to bring it to that game 5. Really, really tense set so far. Adaptations both way. I'm really curious what Markiemoo was able to do in between the Devil Jin games and then this reset, because he looks completely different than what
he looks like a completely different player.
In set 1, right?
He is leading and he is extending all of his combos, all of his follow-ups. What is so scary about him is when he gets that neutrality on somebody when they have no dodge. I have not seen anybody be able to push their advantage that far.
So we're really pushing the map counterpick meta here, right? Most likely World's End was left open. We don't want to go to World's End, but we got rid of all the single plat maps.
Dodge once again.
So we're on Miami Dome.
Oh my gosh, Hughes.
So this is also unique in the sense that you need 2 jumps to be able to get to that platform there. So a very odd map when it comes to their punishes. And Jaehyun's one of the few characters that can reliably punish that with his neutral sig.
Yep.
But we haven't seen too much from that this game. So we're going to find out how this plays out here as we're match point. Markiemoo versus Hughes. Winner of this will be the Autumn Royale champion. And Hughes is trying to bring it to game 5.
Okay, he's able to land. He's able to get the end light, the side light as well. Neutral. Look at the way that he is dashing. Look at the way that he is moving. And Hughes trying to swat him away. Dashing back, not going through the full finisher. That's already a few times that he has dodged out. Hughes setting up a juggle. Is that going to be it? Yes, it will be.
Okay, Hughes steals the lead here in game number 4. 1 hit away, though.
Oh, my God.
I thought he was 1 hit away. That neutral sig was amazing. A little extra charge maybe would have gotten it, but now Markiemoo has to work that much harder to be able to finish off this stock. Sidelight comes through.
Wow.
That's strong enough with a strong hit to be able to send him off the right side of the stage. Now 2-2.
2-2, and that lead that Hughes has built up is now gone. Markiemoo with Scythe on hand. What is he going to do to deny use of this weapon? He is staying put. He is threatening with neutrality because you have seen what he can do once he gets that one hit.
Yeah, good patience from Hughes, however, just to wait for Markiemoo to throw a preemptive attack. Once the Nair came through, Hughes crossed him up, picked up the Greatsword. Now they're fighting Greatsword versus Scythe, but the Scythe Nair sends him off stage. Good job getting right over the threat zone. With the down air, almost combos into the weapon throw. Falls to that down air, can't catch him just yet. Hughes avoids the second Nair, gets the Nair on the way back to stage, but that end light side air will send Hughes off the right side of the stage and keep the damage close.
He saw the side light, he used that as an opening to get back on. Hughes, you need to be able to connect this hit. He whiffs the end light, and as a result, Markiemoo, he is just running all over this game right now in terms of momentum. Hughes, you have to find a way to be able to fight back. He recovers in the wrong direction. He fades away. I think he just wanted to drift back and accidentally pivoted it.
Oh, Gauntlet's picked up. Can get the side air, ground pound, risky choice there, doesn't get punished. Both
Nobody
players
punishes.
miss spacing and they're not ready for their moves to miss. Sidelight recovery, dodges up to dodge it into the wake up neutral air to almost take Markiemoo off the top of the stage. Doesn't go for the finisher there, end light, double end light's on the table.
We
Let's
need
see if
to
he
see the
goes for it
punish on
here.
dodges because he keeps on dodging out and he keeps on just dodging in place.
Both
but
dash
he
jump
gets it.
in, but Markiemoo's recovery is faster. Great Sword can't do anything that fast off of the dash jump in. That'll
Yes.
beat that, so Markiemoo is now one stock away from being the champion.
And now you gotta get anything here to close out the stock. You have Sword, you want D-Light, you want End-Light, you want Cider, you want even a neutral. Maybe the second one would be able to hit the recovery. Gonna be whiffing. Use, you have to find the stock. But, oh my god!
That was almost it. Use reeling back, manages to hold on just barely. Markiemoo almost gets a knockout off the top with a double silent recovery. Now really putting the pressure on with the gauntlets. He's trying to end the set here and now. Endlight sends him flying off the
Across the
side
stage,
though, and
not
you're
enough.
saying it's not over yet.
He is dashing out, he is dashing in. He's able to get the GC sidelight, and Markiemoo still yet to pick up a weapon. The neutraler is able to KO. Use can make this comeback, but all you need is just a couple of good, strong hits. You have seen his damage openers. He needs to get the dodge read. He keeps dodging out. Can he find it?
One there, goes in, gets the silent opener, but doesn't find it. Markiemoo gets a sidelight. What else can he find? Waiting for the landing. Use uncharacteristically playing towards the sky. Goes for the recovery. Markiemoo hunts him down with the gauntlets.
No neutral follow-up. The GC sidelight out of disadvantage. He mixed him up.
Oh, and now uses get the damage in
Sidelight,
sidelight.
no
No
recovery.
recovery afterwards. Markiemoo not letting the recovery's rip. The last one to come
Sidelight,
through.
is that
That's
gonna be it?
it.
Oh my
Markiemoo
god.
beats Use in the grand final reset and is your
Wow.
Autumn Royale 2024 champion. The first Royale that he ever shows up to, gets to the grand finals on the winner's side. Almost goes down to Use, but manages to beat the reigning world champion and the best player from South America to be able to hold his trophy and be the champion here at the Autumn Royale.